The boy sat on his bed, staring at the wall, tears threatening to spill over. The silence of the room was deafening, amplifying the pounding of his heart. His phone lay on the desk, the screen displaying the time 3:27 p.m. He was waiting for a call. Waiting for her call. Every minute without her was an eternity. Every unanswered ring echoed the emptiness in his chest. He was 16 years old and hopelessly in love with this girl he'd known since childhood. They were best friends first, sharing secrets, dreams, and fears, but recently everything had changed. Their friendship had blossomed into something deeper, more intense. And now his world revolved around her, his thoughts consumed by her presence. He remembered the day their dynamic shifted. They were sitting under their favorite tree, the one with the sprawling branches that had always symbolized their closeness. The sky was a canvas of autumn colors, mirroring the warmth that suddenly bloomed in his chest. Her eyes, the brown of rich soil, held his gaze, and in that shared silence, they had confessed their feelings. The words "I love you" hung between them, unspoken yet understood. A kiss, shy and sweet like ripe berries, sealed their unspoken bond. From that day on, their love became an unspoken language. Stolen glances became secret smiles, whispered words under the cloak of night, letters passed in class, each crease of the paper holding a piece of their beating hearts. The thought of confessing their love had seemed terrifying, yet exhilarating. The fear of rejection overshadowed by the joy of a shared secret. Their love, a melody without words, resonated only in their hearts. Every moment spent together was a stolen treasure. They explored hidden paths in the whispering woods behind their town, where ancient trees stood as silent witnesses to their burgeoning love. There, amidst the symphony of birds and rustling leaves, they carved their initials on the rough bark of a tree, a testament to a love that felt eternal. They dreamed of a future intertwined. They saw themselves walking hand in hand through sun-drenched fields, their laughter echoing in the vast expanse of time. In their secret haven, they created a world where only their love existed. Reality faded away, replaced by the promise of forever. Then, like a discordant note in a melody, reality intruded. Rumors began to swirl, whispers that carried the weight of judgment. People started noticing their stolen glances, their hushed whispers, the way their hands lingered just a bit longer than necessary. Gossip spread like wildfire, fanning the flames of doubt and suspicion. The once comforting presence of their families turned into a suffocating cage. The warmth of their homes was replaced by the chill of judgmental stares. Their haven of love transformed into a battleground where their happiness was under siege. He remembered the day it all came crashing down. It was a day like any other, ordinary and full of promise until it wasn't. He was walking home from school, his heart light with anticipation, when he saw her standing by the old oak tree. Her face was pale, her eyes filled with unshed tears. When she spoke, her voice trembled. She told him about the rumors, the accusations that were tearing their families apart. Their love, once celebrated in stolen moments and hushed whispers, was now under attack. The very walls of their town seemed to be closing in on them, suffocating them with their judgment. Faced with the disapproval of their families and the prying eyes of their community, they decided to run away. They didn't go far. Just a few miles out of town, they found an abandoned cabin nestled in the embrace of the whispering woods. It was a sanctuary, a refuge from the storm that raged outside. Inside, amidst the peeling wallpaper and dusty furniture, they found solace in each other's arms. But their happiness was short-lived. The cabin, with its creaking floorboards and leaking roof, couldn't protect them from the harsh realities of their situation. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Their idyllic love bubble burst, revealing the harsh edges of reality. The whispers followed them even here, carried by the wind through the gaps in the cabin walls. The town's judgment, once a distant rumble, became a constant roar. The peace they had hoped to find was elusive, their love story becoming a town's tale. He remembered the day she left. It was a gray, drizzly day, mirroring the bleakness in his heart. She sat on the edge of the bed, her gaze distant, lost in a world he couldn't reach. When she spoke, her voice was flat, devoid of the warmth he loved. She told him she was going back to the life they had left behind. He tried to stop her, to hold on to the remnants of their love, but it was too late. The bridge they had burned in their haste had turned into a chasm, separating them with every passing moment. As she walked away, he watched her go, his heart shattering into a million pieces with every step she took away from him. Left alone in the decaying cabin, he felt the full weight of his despair. The silence wasn't comforting anymore. It was a tormentor, mocking him with echoes of her absence. The walls, once a shield, now mocked him with their solidity. He was trapped in a prison of his own making, with memories as his only company. The days that followed were a blur. He wandered through the woods near the cabin, seeking solace in the whispering trees, but the whispers had changed. They no longer carried the secrets of his love. They mocked him, jeered at him, their taunts echoing the judgment of the town. He returned to the town a shadow of his former self, haunted by the ghost of their love. He could feel the pitying glances, hear the hushed whispers. The place he once called home was now a minefield of painful memories. Years passed, turning into a blur of missed opportunities and unfulfilled dreams. He buried himself in work, seeking solace in the routine, his heart encased in a fortress of emotional barricades. But the memory of his first love refused to fade. It lingered at the corners of his thoughts, a constant reminder of a love both beautiful and heartbreaking. One day, he stumbled upon a letter he had written to her, the words still vivid, the ink still wet on the pages of time. As he read through the faded script, the memories came flooding back, the joy, the love, the pain, the heartbreak. In the depths of his despair, a realization dawned on him. The love he had shared with her, though deeply painful at times, had been real. It had been pure. It had been his first, and that made it all the more precious. He realized that while love could bring immense joy, it could also inflict deep wounds. But it was in the healing of those wounds that one grew in compassion, understanding, and empathy. Love, he understood, was a delicate dance, a melody without words. It was a gamble, a risk worth taking, even if the outcome was uncertain. In the quiet solitude of his room, he cried. He cried not just for the loss of his first love, but for the pain he had endured, the time he had wasted, the dreams they had shared. His tears were a catharsis, releasing the pent-up emotions of years. And as the tears subsided, a sense of calm washed over him. He felt lighter, as if a burden had been lifted. In the depths of his sorrow, he had discovered a wellspring of strength, a resilience he never knew he possessed. As the sun rose the next day, he stepped out of his room, ready to face the world with a newfound determination. The pain of his past was still there, but now it was tempered with understanding. He was older, wiser, his heart a mosaic of experiences. The shards of his heartbreak now formed a mosaic of wisdom, a testament to the enduring power of love and the indomitable strength of the human spirit. He walked into the sunrise, his steps lighter, his heart a bit wiser. The path ahead was uncertain, but he was ready. He was ready to love, to dream, to hope, knowing that even if love had the power to break your heart, it was also the greatest teacher of life.